out of the face of the map. That's what's going to happen. It's like this woman came down, she was saying that it's a lie and all that stuff of what's going down, but it's not a lie. These things are actually get ready to happen. Okay? But like I wanted to go back to in Isaiah 13, how you have them Russian troops, them UN Russian troops, okay, on the shores of America. What they're gonna do is they're gonna police them American people, and eventually what's gonna happen is they're gonna police those Americans and they're gonna kill them too. They're gonna put them to death. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, and they're gonna do the same thing down here as well. You're gonna have martial law troops. They're gonna be putting a lot of you people to death as well. Because it's gonna come down, man. That day is coming. So this is Isaiah 13, verse 19. And it says, Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldean excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generations to generations. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their folds there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their house shall be full of doleful creatures. That's right. So the new inhabitants of the land of America are going to be doleful creatures, man. You're going to have serpent-like creatures that's going to inhabit the land of America. You're going to have your lizards. You're going to have your snakes, okay? You might even have some scorpions. 1 or 2 are scorpions or so. And those are going to be the new inhabitants of that land, because what America's going to become is a great, gigantic 5,000 square miles desert. Okay, once Russia and Iran and the Third World War happens, man, after that. Okay? So that day is coming, man, and even this land is going to get consumed as well, because when you go on the Google map, there's a lot of nuclear sites on this land. So England is going to get sort of the same treatment that America's going to get. You're going to have just people just consumed by the fire, by that lake of fire. You got Christians out here, they're talking about, well, there's a hell underneath the earth. And you're going to burn down in hellfires underneath the earth. That madness. But the lake of fire is not talking about the fire underneath the earth. The lake of fire is talking about the fire that's going to come from those ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're going to bring the lake of fire. Alright? That's where the lake of fire is going to come out of. Those ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? They're going to bring forth that lake of fire. That's why John, the Revelator, he likened Babylon to great glass mingled with fire. In other words, he saw the fire, man, on America. He saw the fire that spread forth on America. That's the vision that he had. Alright? And he was sick, man. You had certain prophets, they were sick when they had these visions too. So was it just a dream, or was it something more than that? It was something more than that. Because there's a difference between dreams and visions. When you have a vision, you're actually having a vision of something that's getting ready to come to pass. And even I myself had a vision, alright, of America being destroyed. I actually had that vision for true. Okay? And in that vision, man, I mean, it was so vivid, that vision, right, that my whole body was shaking in the dream, in the vision. I woke back up from the dream and my body was shaking because I was trembling with inside that vision. That's how vivid that vision was. So it's definitely going to happen, man. Okay? The destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America, will be basically destroyed off the face of the map, man. That's why you got the Russians out there, you got the Iranians out there. They getting ready for this day, man, to come. They getting ready for that great day to come. Let me back this up a little bit. See? We're going to read Isaiah 13. verse 20, and it says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Okay? Neither shall the Arabian pitch the tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the land shall cry to their in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. That's your the serpent-like creatures here, the lizards, the snakes. Those are going to be the new inhabitants of America. This is going to be a land. It's going to be a desert. It's going to be a gigantic 5,000 square mile desert. Perfect land. Alright? That's what it's going to turn into. And the it says, and the wild beasts of the land shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And their time is near to come, and their days shall not be prolonged. That's right. The days of America, or the days of this Edomite system, is not going to prolong. Okay? Even this corruption that you see out here will prolong, man. You know what I mean? And that's why the Lord is going to destroy this kingdom. Because you see, you got a lot of corruption out there, man. You know what I mean? You got women with women, you got men with men and all that stuff. That's another reason why the Lord is going to destroy this kingdom. Okay? You got a lot of wild sex demons out there, man. It's turning these people inside out. And them wild demons is coming from that television that you watch. And that's what this society is all about. It's all about wildness. It's all about corruption, fulfilling your lust, fulfilling your evilness, your wickedness. You know, this is a world where there's no structure, there's no order. And when there's no order, you have madness, okay? You have people like Bruce Gender Bender himself, you have people like that arise on the planet. And they'll tell you that the way they act is okay. Okay, society will project to you that the way Bruce Gender Bender is okay. So this is a society that has no order, has no structure. So you have a society that has no order and no moralistic structure. And what you have is you have wildness. It's windy as hell, brothers, man. You know? Trying to withstand this wind and stuff like that. You know? So we're going to go all the way back to Isaiah 14. So now what we're going to do is we're going to read Isaiah 14, which is another good chapter as well. This is Isaiah 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. In other words, Israelites, they call themselves by their slave names, which is so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. They are the Israelites. And it says that the Lord will yet have mercy on Israel and will yet choose Jacob.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But not of me.
Okay, sorry.
You know, so we're going to read this again.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we're going to read this again. We're going to read, about Isaiah 14. It says, for the Lord will yet have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to set us in our own land. Because right now, we're not in our own land. And our own land is over there where them self-styled Jews are at. Okay, them fake Jews are at. They're in our land. And the Lord's going to take them out of that land by the way of the thermonuclear war. back in our land. We're going to re-inhabit that land too. Okay? We're going to make them desolate lands inhabitable, so to speak. This wind is something serious. That's why this camera is right here. In this awkward state, you know. But anyway, let's keep reading. It says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay? And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Lord and the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives. Check this out now. It says for the Lord, of the Lord for servants and handmaids, they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's right. So we're going to take these nations captives, whose captives we were. All right? Now let's go all the way back to history. Let's go all the way back to Egypt. Those tall, dark, so-called Africans today. They had our people in captivity, all right, for 430 years. All right? The Babylonians had us in captivity for a certain amount of years. The Romans, the Greeks, and of today. So all of the people that had Israel in captivity, we're going to take those captives whose captives we were. Okay? So they're going to be our captives. That's how beautiful the Lord is, man. The Lord set it up that we're going to get our revenge back. You know? That's how this thing's going to get down. So we're going to read this again. This is Isaiah 14, verse 2. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. So we're going to possess all of you nations in Jerusalem. We're going to go right back to our land, which is Jerusalem. And we're going to possess all of you people, man, that possessed us at one time. All right? And we're going to possess you forever and ever. Thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Lord. All right? And we're going to keep reading. This is Isaiah 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. All right? And we're going to possess you Edomites. Okay? For servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. That's right. Okay? Because the modern day oppressor of Israel today are the Edomites. Because the Edomites are the so-called Europeans today. How you find it out? Read Genesis 21 and 25. That's how you find it out. You know? So we're going to rule over them. And it tells you in Psalms how we're going to rule over the nations. Okay? And that is our birthright. That is our God-given birthright, that we rule over all of the other nations. Okay? You can get that in Genesis, the 26th chapter. How the sons of Jacob, how the sons of Jacob are going to grow fat. Okay? In other words, we're going to grow rich. Let's keep going. It says, and it shall come to pass, right? And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrows, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage where thou was made to serve. That's right. So the Lord is going to give us rest in the land. All right. That goes up to the so-called Mexican brothers, that goes up to the so-called Central American brothers, and the so-called Negroes. We are the Israelites, and the Lord is going to give us rest. But it's going to start with the elect. Okay, 144,000. That's who the Lord is going to deal with, man, and set them in the right land. And we're going to have all these other nations that have us in slavery under our foot. And they're going to do exactly what we tell them. They're going to do exactly what we tell them to do. Okay, that includes the Edomites, the East Indians, that includes the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, that includes the so-called Chinese, all right, which are the Moabites, the Ammonites, which are the so-called Japanese, okay, that includes the Japhetic people, okay, they're all going to be servants unto the house of Israel, all right, which we are the house of Israel. So let's keep reading. It says, this is Isaiah 14, verse 4, it says, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how have the oppressor ceased, and the golden city ceased. Okay? And the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. That's right. The Lord hath broken the staff or the scepter of the wicked. Now who according to the Bible, is the wicked? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go right back to Malachi, the book of Malachi 1. And we're going to find out who the wicked is. Alright, I'm going to get it as quick as possible. Because you have the sons of men, okay, you have the sons of the righteous, and you have the sons of the wicked. So we're going to find out who the wicked is. And I'm going to find this as quick as possible, man. There we are, Malachi 1. We're going to read Malachi 1, right? Verse 4 says, wherein as Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So that's talking about them Edomites, man. They're the border of wickedness. So now when we go back to Isaiah 14 now, right? When you go back to Isaiah 14, it says this too. It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. And we found out, according to Malachi, the first chapter, who the wicked is. It's Esau and the Edomites, which the Edomites are the same people that's calling themselves European descent or Caucasian descent. Those are the Edomites, all right? Okay, those are the Edomites. And the Lord is going to destroy them, man, for what the ill deeds that they done on this planet. Okay, they put the house of David in captivity. They destroyed the earth. So they're gonna have to pay, man. They're gonna have to pay up. Alright. So this is Isaiah 14, verse 5 again. It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. And this is why this economy is gradually breaking apart. Okay? And these